One Night in Vegas, Mark McDonald for Laura Baker. Number 7.
This is the OTB Network.
8 on plate is Alfredson. Jack Wilson, strike 3, Randy Waples.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've had a busy weekend of stakes racing action, and we're going to kick things off down in South Florida. We're going to head to Calder for Saturday's running of the Office Queen for 3-year-old fillies. Let's head to Florida, the running of the Office Queen.
And they're off in the Office Queen Stakes. Snug Harbor popped the gate and quickly shoots out for the lead. Her stablemate Baba Ganoush comes out running in second. Then it's Leona's Knight who moves up to the inside of Crazy Caro. Classy Witches along the rail. The entry mates of Dancetta Light and Wise Brianna are the trailers early on. Wise Brianna actually in about the 5 path as she makes her way around the turn. But a pretty bunched field out there, about 4 lengths from front to back. As they make their way around the clubhouse turn, doesn't look like they're going all that fast out there. 24-1 the opening quarter, and it's Snug Harbor and Eddie Castro showing the way. Snug Harbor leads into the backstretch, but Crazy Caro comes to pressure her from the outside. And these two quicken noticeably as they make their way onto the long straight. They've opened up now about a 2.5 length lead on Baba Ganoush, then Leona's Knight. Dancetta Light and Wise Brianna are out of last. Classy Witch is down at on the rail. She now has about 4.5 lengths to make up. Still anyone's race, so they make their way to the half-mile marker. That half-mile went in 48 seconds flat. Snug Harbor going a little bit better than Crazy Caro on the front end. She is clear as they make their way into the far turn. It's Snug Harbor. She opens up now to lead it by almost 2 from Crazy Caro. Baba Ganoush is hard-ridden in third. Leona's Knight doesn't seem to be doing enough. Let's see, Dancetta Light, Classy Witch, and Wise Brianna all going up and down at the back of the pack at this point. And meanwhile, it's Snug Harbor who's going well on the front end. Eddie Castro looking over his right shoulder. He sees no competition thus far. And at the top of the stretch, it's Snug Harbor who leads it by 4. Crazy Caro still there in second, then Baba Ganoush and Leona's Knight. But as they come down the lane in the Office Queen Stakes, it's all Snug Harbor bidding for her 5th consecutive win. She leads it by 5 with 70 yards to go. Snug Harbor just much too good for this field. Snug Harbor wins the 2005 Office Queen. Leona's Knight was second, and Crazy Caro and Baba Ganoush.
Snug Harbor and Eddie Castro getting the victory here by an easy romping front end, 8.5 lengths over Leona's Knight, with Crazy Caro back in the 3rd spot after tracking the top 3 finishers, all running fairly well up in the going early on and finishing up strongly as the off the board, the favorite in here, the favorite entry running off the board rather disappointingly from off the pace. But the story here with the Office Queen was not so much the winner in terms of Snug Harbor, but the winner in terms of the rider Eddie Castro, who won 9 races on the Calder card on Saturday, including the $100,000 stakes feature on a good surface. The winner, Snug Harbor, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old daughter of Boston Harbor from Charday by 49er, bred in Florida by Peter and Ann Vegso, owned by the breeder, trained by Rodolfo Garcia, and ridden to victory by Eddie Castro. Snug Harbor runs the mile in a 16th at Calder in 1:47.3. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from Delaware Park. We're going to take a look next at the Nick Shuck Memorial. $75,000 for 3-year-olds. It was carded on the turf, came off the turf because of bad weather, but we still had a pretty full field of 8 going postward. Let's head to Delaware in the running of the Nick Shuck.
And they're off in the Nick Shuck Memorial. Exploit Exposed goes for that lead. C's up on the far outside. Down to the inside, that's Killinall. And between horses, Mighty Mecky. Mighty Mecky will come out on top into the first turn. Killinall settles in nicely with the rail in second, and C's up on the outside, a close-up third. Letterman's Humor angles toward the inside, saving all the ground in fourth. Then a gap of about 3 lengths to Exploit Exposed. Poco Moonshine alongside. Then Coyote's Highest Call, and the trailer is Gunslinger. Opening quarter in 23 4 as they curl around the clubhouse turn. And on the front end, Mighty Mecky by a neck. Right there, that's Killinall in second. 4 lengths further back to C's in a good spot third. 2.5 more lengths to Letterman's Humor in fourth, and a gap of 5 more to Poco Moonshine. They quickly spread out. Exploit Exposed next in line, followed by Coyote's Highest Call and Gunslinger, the trailer, as they move swiftly down the backside. Half in 47 seconds flat, and Mighty Mecky by 3 points over Killinall. C's is now a closer third. 2.5 to Letterman's Humor, followed by Poco Moonshine in fifth. A gap of 6 more lengths further back to Coyote's Highest Call. Gunslinger begins to move out of last, and Exploit Explodes is your trailer. Into the turn they go. Mighty Mekki and Dominguez on the front end by a length and a half. Now Killenall's all out. Seas is running evenly, is now being passed on the outside by Letterman Zuma, who takes over third, is going after the top two. Then comes Poco Moonshine, a quarter to go, and Mighty Mekki leads it by 3. Killenall can't keep pace. Up on the outside, Letterman Zuma as they swing for home. The 6 went in, 1:11 and 2. They've got Mighty Mekki to catch, leads it by 4 lengths. Letterman Zuma on the move in second, followed by Killenall third. Late rally from Gunslinger on the outside, a 16th to go. Mighty Mekki's holding on gamely by 3.5 lengths over Letterman Zuma, who's trying, but Mighty Mekki will win the Nick Shuck Memorial. Letterman Zuma a good second, followed by Killenall, and a late run from Coyote's Highest Call getting up for 4th.
Mighty Mekki getting the victory here, 2.5 lengths as the favorite. I suppose a lot of people probably liked him on the turf, but he ran just as well on off the turf conditions to pick up the victory over long shot Letterman's Humor, with Killenall back in the third spot after tracking the early pace to the top of the stretch. The winner, Mighty Mekki, is a bay 3-year-old son of Mekki from So Cheerful by Fortunate Prospect. He was bred in Florida by Lynn Decruso. He is owned by the Puglisi stable, trained by Steve Clasaris, and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Mighty Mekki covers the mile in a 16th at Delaware in 1:44 and 1. We're going to head next to Monmouth Park for some stakes racing action over the weekend, beginning with the Revideer Stakes. $60,000 purse for 3-year-old fillies, unfortunately run over a muddy surface. Let's head to New Jersey in the running of the Revideer.
They're racing in the Revideer, a perfect beginning. Sense of Style came out fine, but Smokestack will set the pace, and Smokestack sent along by Chris DiCarlo to be the early leader. Bayou Breeze and the In Thing will settle in behind, then Divine Will and Sense of Style and Bravo last early in saving ground, only 3 lengths off the lead with 7 furlongs to run. It's Smokestack in front, leads the way by a length and a half. The In Thing is running back there in 4th position and had to check, with Sense of Style caught behind her as they head to the backstretch. 24 seconds flat, not a fast quarter at all, and it will be Smokestack to lead the way. Bayou Breeze is running in second. Now Bravo gets Sense of Style out of trouble by swinging her to the far outside, and now she goes up to take third, and there goes Sense of Style up to engage the leaders now. She's made a sudden move up the backstretch, and she's all the way up to second. Divine Will is 4th, and the In Thing trails at the half-mile pole. A half went in 48 2/5 seconds. Smokestack the leader, 3/4 of a length. Sense of Style 3 wide. Bayou Breeze between horses. These 3 are right together. Divine Will is 2.5 lengths off of them, and the In Thing trails. Around the far turn, Smokestack holding on to the lead. Sense of Style 3 wide, now up into second. Bayou Breeze trying to keep up with them under a heavy drive. 3/4 in 1:12 and 3. They're into the stretch, and Smokestack yet to yield the lead to Sense of Style. Between those two, Bayou Breeze fighting on gamely, and these 3 come into the final furlong. Smokestack still there. Sense of Style and Bayou Breeze between them. Bayou Breeze got ahead in front. Sense of Style battling strides. It's Sense of Style and Bayou Breeze head and head, nose and nose. Bayou Breeze beats Sense of Style on the wire by a really short margin. Then Smokestack and Divine Will.
Bayou Breeze and Aaron Greider, a nose victory and a good effort here over Sense of Style, returning to the races. In fact, they'd considered running her in the Acorn, decided that the Revideer was a little bit easier spot for her off the long layoff. She was the favorite, disappointed, but only by a nose. Smokestack running third after leading the way in the early going. Bayou Breeze, a tough trip. She stumbled at the start. She ran well between horses and got the victory under Aaron Greider, who switched his tack to New Jersey for the summer and has thus far gotten off to a great start. The winner, Bayou Breeze, is a chestnut 3-year-old daughter of AP Indy from Bayou Storm by Stormcat, bred in Kentucky by Green Lantern Stable and owned by Stronach Stable, trained by Kieran McLaughlin and ridden to victory by Aaron Greider. Bayou Breeze ships in from New York to pick up all the money in the Revideer Stakes, mile and 70 yards in 1:42 and 2. We're going to head right back to New Jersey now in the running of the Candy Eclair, $55,000 for 3-year-olds and up. Let's head back down to New Jersey in the running of the Candy Eclair.
Racing in the Candy Eclair, and she is raging, unprepared for the start. Lost about 7 lengths at the break. It's Gilded Gold going to the front. Desirable Moment on the inside, and just to the outside of them, it's Platinum Perfect, and these three will vie for the early lead. 2.5 lengths farther back, and then Shea Andra outside of Ambition Unbridled, who's in a tight spot along the rail. Travelator's about 6 lengths off the lead, and She Is Raging may have lost all chance at the break. Around the far turn, Platinum Perfect has taken the lead now and draws clear by a length to Gilded Gold. Desirable Moment checked there and is back running in third on the inside. Travelator is circling the field into fourth, and then it's Shea Andra there into the stretch, and it's Platinum Perfect at the 8th pole with a 3-length lead. Travelator moves into second. Then comes Gilded Gold in third. Down to the 16th pole, it's Platinum Perfect. Travelator's coming. Here comes Travelator on the outside to win the Candia Claire. Ran down Platinum Perfect, and She Is Raging may have edged out Gilded Gold for third.
Travelator, another nice New York bred, getting the victory here. This one also coming off the turf, going 5 furlongs on the main track. And Travelator loving this configuration, getting the victory by 3/4 of a length over Platinum Perfect, a 10-1, 10-1 long shot. She Is Raging, another horse that spent a good deal of time in New York, finishing third, well off the pace to make a huge late move. The winner, Travelator, is a bay 5-year-old mare, a daughter of AP Jet from Raja Diddle by Raja's Revenge, bred in New York by Michael and Raylene Anshell, owned by the R. Sugar Bear stable and trained by Stanley Huff. Ridden to victory by Chris DiCarlo, New York bred. Travelator covers the 5 furlongs at Monmouth in 57-1. We're going to head right back to Monmouth Park now for the running of the Wolf Hill Stakes on Sunday, $55,000. Once again, we're off the turf, 5 furlongs the distance. Let's head back to New Jersey in the running of the Wolf Hill.
They're racing in the Wolf Hill. Tricky Storm is going to the front. Choose showing speed with Little Red Rocket. Wars Prospect on the far outside. It's Procreate, then Introspect, Freedom's Honor, Man of Glory, and Goldador's last early as they race into the turn. It is Tricky Storm and Jose Ferrer a length in front of Choose into the far turn. Right behind the leaders, Procreate on the outside. Wars Prospect is in between, about 3.5 lengths from the front. Introspect is coming through at the rail. Little Red Rocket is 6 lengths behind. 3 to Man of Glory and Freedom's Honor, and far behind is Goldador. A 21 2/4. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's Tricky Storm. Right to the outside, Choose. Farther out in the track, Procreate is trying to come on. Then Wars Prospect, and down toward the rail, it's Introspect. It's Choose in front, coming down to the 16th pole, opening up by 4. And Choose and Tommy Turner have won the Wolf Hill going away. An impressive score by Choose. It is Procreate second, and then came Introspect and Wars Prospect.
Choose getting the win under Tommy Turner, romping by 5 as the 4-1 third choice in the wagering here over Procreate, with Introspect picking up the third spot. And a very nice effort for Introspect, who was a little bit tight at the early part of this race. And at 5 furlongs, it's not easy to recover from that kind of a start, but he did very well for the Castle Village partners, which does include a number of local participants. The winner, Choose, solid effort on the front end, on the muscle every step of the way, is a 4-year-old bay colt, a Son of Arch from Harp Attack by Carson City. He was bred in Kentucky by DC Stable, Doris Jameson and Chris Labine, owned by James Dinan and trained by John Forbes. Ridden to victory by Tommy Turner. Choose covers the 5 furlongs at Monmouth in 56-3. We're going to pause now for a brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Churchill Downs, Woodbine, and Golden Gate. Please stay with us.
And finally, in sports tonight, billboards in Kentucky, welcoming you to the horse capital of the world, New York. How's that? Well, it's a marketing campaign to get Kentuckians to rally behind their horse industry. Folks down in the bluegrass must be getting a little worried, a little squeamish, a little verklempt over the incredible achievements of thoroughbreds bred right here in New York. Hey, don't worry, Kentucky. At least you still have a Derby.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program just keeps getting bigger and better. In 2005, registered New York breds will compete for a record $45 million in purses and incentives. And speaking of records, last year, New York breds won 40 open stakes, including Funnyside in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. Funnyside has won! People from all walks of life, from all sports, are getting with the program. Shouldn't you?
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from Kentucky. We're going to take a look at 3-year-old fillies and action on the turf course at Churchill in the early times, Mint Julep. Let's head down to Louisville in the early times, Mint Julep.
All in line, off and running in the early times, Mint Julep. Aru breaking on top to his short early lead, Cape Town last, and Sparkling Humor forwardly placed. Then it's Pretty Jane with Chacanage way out in the center of the course, but still right there. Cape Town last next by a length and a half. The Delta Princess and Dynamic Cat at the back of the pack. Passing the stands, Pretty Jane and John McKee set the pace by a length and a quarter. Sparkling Humor second, Chacanage is third. Aru at the hedge, cutting the corner. Next by 3 more to Dynamic Cat up the inside. Then Cape Town last, second last, and Delta Princess at the back of the pack. Strung out a bit here, about 8 front to back onto the backside of the opening quarter. Not that slow, 24 seconds flat. It's Pretty Jane dictating the terms in front of length and a half. Chacanage will force the issue early from the outside. Sparkling Humor's in third. Aru down at the hedge, next by 3 to Dynamic Cat. Then it's Cape Town last, biding your time, second last, and Delta Princess at the back of the pack. Half mile in 48 2/5 seconds, moving for the far turn now. Chacanage taking the lead from Pretty Jane in second. Aru up the inside, races third by 2 to Sparkling Humor fourth. On the outside comes Cape Town last, starting to stoke up a rally. Dynamic Cat back to on the inside is second last, and Delta Princess the trailer around the turn to the top of the stretch. Chacanage, Aru runs a big one along the inside. Pretty Jane back into third. Sparkling Humor down at the hedge, and Cape Town last, trying to stoke it up. Delta Princess comes on down to the final furlong. Chacanage taking the lead. Aru back into second. Delta Princess starts to fly home late. Chacanage, here comes Delta Princess. Chacanage, Delta Princess, lunging Delta Princess in the shadow of the wire to win the early times, Mint Julep. Chacanage was second, Aru third, and Cape Town last in 1:42 2.
Delta Princess with a last to first move under Robbie Alvarado as the favorite, kicking clear by a length over Chacanage, with a little closer to the pace than she often likes to say. Erhu running in the third spot is the 18-1 longest shot on the board. The winner, Delta Princess, is a 6-year-old dark bay or brown mare, a daughter of AP Indy from Leafard's Delta by Leafard. Pedigree like that, it is hard to believe that she is still running, but she really is continuing to do a terrific job. She was bred in Kentucky by Politis Investments, owned by Saud bin Khalid, and trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Delta Princess covers the mile and a 16th on the Churchill turf in 1:42 2. We're going to head north of the border now to Woodbine for a pair of stakes races over the weekend, beginning with the Nassau Stakes, a Canadian Grade 2, $300,000 for 3 and up, fillies and mares. Let's head to Woodbine and the running of the Nassau.
They're off in the Nassau Stakes. Out of Pride, broke alertly from the extreme outside. Kabul. K. Puntial is right there in the early going, along with Patience. Also right there, My Lordship, into the inside, Secret Heart. My Lordship, and to the inside, Secret Heart now. On the heels there is a Noble Stella. K. Puntial out of Pride, with Patience. That's the first group. Then back to Mona Rose, who's tucked in nicely behind horses. My Palana, in some traffic down at the rail. Just 3 lengths off the lead, though. Then we have Kabul and Ambitious Cat, a break of 2 to the late running Classic Stamp and Foswega Trails. They head toward the far turn. Down on the inside, it's Secret Heart. Secret Heart, My Lordship, with Patience is third, just 3/4 of a length off the lead. Out of Pride is fourth. Mona Rose needs a way out. My Palana's got a perfect trip. They got a half mile in 47 seconds flat, and they come to the 3/8 pole. Secret Heart with Patience accelerating now. With Patience is up. Out of Pride is right there. My Lordship. Secret Heart tries to keep up. K. Puntial is behind a wall of horses as they turn for him. With a Patience has come away with the lead. With Patience. K. Puntial is set down. Kabul and Classic Stamp kicks in down the center of this E.P. Taylor turf course. With Patience. K. Puntial. My Lordship. Ambitious Cat is closing way to the far outside. Here comes Ambitious Cat flying late, but K. Puntial has come away with the lead, and they're coming down to the line. K. Puntial, Ambitious Cat, K. Puntial to win the Nassau. Ambitious Cat was second, a 3-horse show photo between My Lordship, With Patience, and Mona Rose.
A lot of American representation in this race with a big purse, a number of American trainers shipping up there. One of them getting the victory here with Kay Puntual, with Angel Pena, the trainer of this one, going off as the favorite. She was up front in the early going, settled back a little bit and re-rallied nicely to win by a half over Ambitious Cat, with Mona Rose back in the third spot, both underneath horses at fairly generous prices here. Next price up from the favorite who won was My Lordship, who was involved right from the start at 3-1 and had to settle for 4. The winner, Kay Puntual, is a Bay 5-year-old daughter of contested bid from Repardita by Temperano. Bred in Argentina by El Alfarar and owned by Earl Mack, trained by Angel Pena Jr., and ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez. Kay Puntual covers the mile in a 16th on the Woodbine turf in 1:41 and 2. We're going to head right back to Canada now and the running of the Plate Trial. Of course, the Queen's Plate, the big race for the 3-year-olds in Canada. Like the Queen's Plate, this race is restricted to Canadian breds. The purse $150,000, the distance 9 furlongs. Let's head back to Woodbine in the Plate Trial.
They're off in the Plate Trial Stakes. Out from Africa, sent right to the front by Jerry Olguin. Get Down is right at Out from Africa's flank. Dance with Ravens out there 3 wide as they move in front of us for the first time. And Out from Africa has been taken off the rail. Get Down is on the outside. Second to Tanis is just to the inside of Dance with Ravens. Then we have Stag and Nation, March with Me, and 3 in the Bag is at the back of the pack. 24 seconds for the opening quarter mile. They're at the 3/4 pole now. Out from Africa leads it to a stalking Get Down. That margin's a half a length. Atanis nestled in nicely. Overtaking Atanis in clear of trouble on the outside. Third now is Dance with Ravens. Atanis is back to 4th. The opening half mile in 48 4/5 of a second. And Olguin will try to get Out from Africa to go it all the way on the front end. They have a half mile to go now. Out from Africa, Olguin takes a peek back and sees the gray Get Down right at his flank. Dance with Ravens gets a little nudge, 3/8 out. 3 in the Bag begins to accelerate around horses at the midpoint of the turn. And they come to the quarter pole. Olguin sets down Out from Africa. Dance with Ravens is coming on, and 3 in the Bag with a lively run out there 4 wide. Get Down's feeling some right-handed encouragements, and Dance with Ravens has emerged with the lead, but 3 in the Bag will try to run down Dance with Ravens in the final 1/8 of a mile. Dance with Ravens on the inside, on the outside, 3 in the Bag. Get Down on the far outside, 3 in the Bag. Dance with Ravens coming to the wire. Dance with Ravens and 3 in the Bag in a Plate Trial photo finish.
It was contested late, and 3 in the Bag ends up getting the victory on the disqualification of Dance with Ravens. Dance with Ravens made a nice move, a huge bid, but there was a little bit of a bumping incident that caused him to be disqualified and placed out of the money. As a result, 3 in the Bag with his rallying move into second gets moved up to the top spot. Get Down moves up, as does Out from Africa. So we've got everybody moving forward as Dances with Ravens moves back to 6th after having been involved in the incident that ended up eventually leading to his DQ. The winner, 3 in the Bag, is a 3-year-old son of Silver Deputy from Light Show by Pleasant Colony. Bred in Ontario by Kinghaven Farms Limited and owned by Castletop Stable, trained by Stanley Huff and ridden to victory by Rob Landry. 3 in the Bag covers the 9 furlongs in 1:52 and 2. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from the West Coast. We're going to head to Northern California, Golden Gate Fields, running of the Rolling Green Breeders' Cup on Saturday. Let's head to Northern California in the Rolling Green.
Racing. Mr. Ackpen brushed with Capitano. Capitano dropping back to the tail of the field. Mr. Ackpen, the early leader from Courtly Jazz and Gold Ruckus, and Capitano's going to be last of all, as it's going to be Mr. Ackpen doing the honours early. He links up with the course proper, 3 in front from Courtly Jazz, another 3 lengths to Gold Ruckus, and 2 off last of all Capitano. 7/8 left to go. Mr. Ackpen, the leader, by 2.5 lengths to Courtly Jazz, 4 lengths to Gold Ruckus, and 1.5 lengths Capitano. Out of the stretch, and Mr. Ackpen, the leader, going to the 6 furlongs by 2.25 from Courtly Jazz. 4 lengths to Gold Ruckus, and Capitano is 2 lengths last of all. Presently 7 lengths behind the leader. Mr. Ackpen in charge as they go to the back stretch by 2 lengths to Courtly Jazz and 5 to Gold Ruckus, and a length off last is Capitano, 5/8 pole. And Mr. Ackpen with the lead 1.5 lengths. Courtly Jazz second, leaving the leader to his own devices. Mr. Ackpen still on a clear lead. Back third, Gold Ruckus, and fourth of the 4 is Capitano. A half mile from home in the rolling green. And the leader, Mr. Ackpen, by 1.5 lengths. Courtly Jazz second. 6 lengths then to Capitano, going up on the outside to join Gold Ruckus. Around the second turn, Mr. Ackpen has taken them along at a steady tempo. His leader's 3/4 of a length over Courtly Jazz, and 6 to Gold Ruckus with Capitano on his outside. Just a slap of the whip there from Gonzalez on Mr. Ackpen as he's getting joined now by Courtly Jazz, turning for home. Courtly Jazz goes past Mr. Ackpen, leading now by a half length at the 3/16. Capitano is about to let loose with a big stretch kick. It's Courtly Jazz in front. Capitano looming as the danger. About a 16th to go. Courtly Jazz, 3/4 of a length. Capitano getting to him. Gold Ruckus next. Capitano takes the lead. Gold Ruckus had to check. Capitano's won it. A half length to Courtly Jazz. Gold Ruckus had to check just inside the 16th pole when in between those two. Hold on to your tickets. The time, 1:49.46.
Capitano, a horse that in his prime had been considered one of the nicer California-based 3-year-olds, here getting a nice victory by a half length from off the pace in this short field. Courtly Jazz crossing the line second was disqualified from second to third after he interfered while drifting out late with Gold Ruckus. Gold Ruckus moved up to second, Courtly Jazz back down to third. The winner, Capitano, is a 4-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Belong to Me from Heavenly Cat by Tabasco Cat. He was bred by the Brushwood Stable in Pennsylvania. He is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Megadurchian. He is owned by, or trained by Thomas Ray Bell II and ridden to victory by John Court. Capitano covers the 9 furlongs of the rolling green on the green in 1:49 and 2. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from Southern California. A trio of stakes races this past weekend at Hollywood Park. Kicking off with the Milady Breeders' Cup for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, Grade 2 company, going 1 mile and a 16th. Let's head to California now in the running of the Milady.
They're off. Fast start for Andujar, and she takes charge. Siphon Honey away second, House of Fortune third, and to the outside, Alphabet Kisses. Star Parade's into the bit as well, and here comes Star Parade to ride the rail and challenge Andujar early. House of Fortune and Santa Candida now only have 1 beat. It's the favorite, Hollywood Story, at the back of the pack. Andujar aggressive to the backstretch. It is Andujar now 1.5 lengths in front of Alphabet Kisses, who tugs at Gary Stevens. She wants to go. Gary wants her to sit second behind Andujar, who's free running up front. Defending champion Star Parade tucked in third, and she's 2 from the front. Then House of Fortune and Siphon Honey. They're 4th and 5th and 3 lengths off the lead. Santa Candida has 7 to come, and if Hollywood Story wins the 54th Milady Breeders' Cup Handicap, she'll make up 9 lengths and do it in the final half mile as they head into the far turn. Andujar tries to go it all the way. Andujar once again clear. She leads by 1.5 lengths from Star Parade in second. Alphabet Kisses has to go now. She's third and 1 3/4 lengths from the front. Siphon Honey threatens to run a big one. She's at the rail fourth, 2.5 lengths off the lead. House of Fortune has 4.5 to come. Hollywood Story is about to join her. Here's Hollywood Story within 4 of the lead. Santa Candida is the trailer, and they run to the top of the stretch, and Andujar is getting away. It is Andujar now 2 lengths in front of Alphabet Kisses in second. Hollywood Story's up to third, but she's got to make up 3.5 lengths in the final furlong of the Milady. Andujar is free running, and look at her roll away. Andujar is 6 in front. Hollywood Story ran a race, and she's going to finish far behind as Andujar comes to the wire straight and strong. Wow, Andujar beat Hollywood Story 8 lengths. Star Parade was third, close for fourth between Santa Candida and Alphabet Kisses.
Andujar. Corey Nakatani riding to victory here. A romping, easy win, 7 lengths the better of the favorite Hollywood Story with Star Parade. Also fairly aggressively wagered on here, not surprisingly, as she is a Grade 1 winner in her own right, picking up the 3rd spot. But Andujar taking this one right from the get-go and kicking clear at 7-1. Andujar is a Bay 4-year-old daughter of Quiet American from Nuriev's Best by Nuriev, bred in Kentucky by Hacienda Agricola and Sil Uncareccia. She is owned by J. Paul Redham and Mark Schlesinger, trained by Doug O'Neill and ridden to victory by Corey Nakatani. Andujar covers the mile and a 16th of the Milady in quick 1:41.2. Next up, we're going to head right back to California in the running of the Honeymoon Breeders' Cup Handicap, $175,000 for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. Let's head back to California in the running of the Honeymoon.
They're off. Royal Wave broke running, so did Unusual Spring, and that's what I mean. Isla Cozine is close up. Single Ease and 3 Degrees are mid-pack. Dramatic will be wide at the clubhouse turn. Royal Copenhagen, Kick the Can, and Louvain are next. Verbatim is a handful early. Verbatim is very unmanageable in the first part of it. As a matter of fact, I think the rider has either the saddle is slipped or the rider's come out of the irons on Verbatim. And what's happened is Verbatim's rider, Alex Solis, has lost his irons at the clubhouse turn, so she's completely out of control. Now mid-pack, as Alex Solis and Verbatim are in a tough spot turning to the backstretch. The one that got bothered outside of her was Silver Wand, and Solis is now trying to pull Verbatim up to the backstretch as he lost his irons soon after the start. They settle into the backstretch, and that's what I mean has the lead from Dramatic in second. That's what I mean, a length and a quarter in front. Unusual Spring is tucked in at the rail third. Singalese is pushed along by Mike Smith. She's in the yellow, fourth and about 4 from the front, about to be joined by both Isla Cozine and Royal Wave. It's another 5 back to 3 Degrees. She's got about 8 lengths to come. Royal Copenhagen is 10 from the front. Kick the Can has 13 to come. Tivadar is next. Then comes Silver Wand, and Louvain is a long way out of it as they round the far turn. That's what I mean. The leader to the quarter pole in the 54th Honeymoon Breeders' Cup Handicap. It's That's What I Mean, a length and a quarter in front of Unusual Spring in second. Single Ease is up to third now and 2 from the front. Isla Cozine is at the rail in fourth. 3 Degrees comes with a solid run, and here comes 3 Degrees. That's what I mean. Gonna have to hold off 3 Degrees, who's charging down the center of the race course. That's what I mean, and 3 Degrees, and here comes 3 Degrees to roll on by. That's what I mean is second. Isla Cozine is third. 3 Degrees in front. 3 Degrees won by a length and a half. That's what I mean was second. Isla Cozine third, and Singalese finished fourth.
3 Degrees, and Gary Stevens getting a nice victory here by a length from well back off the pace. She had some traffic trouble, steadied a little bit around the 7 ace pole, but made a nice move, a game effort to win by a length over That's What I Mean. Isla Cozine, a nice effort to finish third at 14-1. 3 Degrees is a Greyer-Roan 3-year-old daughter of Singspiel from Miss University by Bo Genius. She was bred by B. Butt in Ireland, owned by Mary Rita DiPietro at Harlequin Ranches, Aaron Wellman et al., trained by Pat Gallagher, and ridden to victory by Gary Stevens. 3 Degrees runs the mile and an eighth on the Hollywood turf in 1:46.2. We're going to head right back to California now in the running of the Desert Stormer, Grade 3, $100,000 sprint for fillies and mares. Let's head back to Hollywood, the Desert Stormer.
They're off. Abounding Truth and Pusha Sacco broke running. Quick Cover sent through at the rail, and now Abounding Truth and Quick Cover will match strides. Ramachuel is just outside of Pusha Sacco, and the early trailer is the stretch running, tucked away. No easy lead for the Iowa Invader, Abounding Truth, as long shot Quick Cover stays right with her, and these two fly up the backstretch. Quick Cover's at the rail, and Abounding Truth glued to her just outside. It's 3.5 lengths to Pusha Sacco, who may need racing room, as Ramachuel is going to keep the favorite in very tight, and Pusha Sacco is going to run up on the heels of a tiring Quick Cover. Can she squeeze through between horses? And it looks like she's got it done, and the complexion changes at the quarter pole of the 9th Desert Stormer, and Pusha Sacco emerges with a short lead. Abounding Truth races in second. Ramachuel is a length from the front in third. Tucked away, draws within 3.5 lengths of the lead, and they come off the top of the turn, and Pusha Sacco takes charge. It is Pusha Sacco now 3 lengths in front. Tucked away, going to move through at the rail and maybe take second from Ramachuel. Abounding Truth backs out of it, but Pusha Sacco won it at the quarter pole. Mike Smith and Pusha Sacco, yes. Pusha Sako won by 2 lengths. Tucked Away was second, Ramatuelle third, and Abounding Truth finished fourth.
Puxa Sako, another one who's been around for quite a while now, a chestnut 5-year-old mare, getting yet another stakes victory in California, this time by 3 lengths from off the pace over Tucked Away, with Ramatuelle rallying or sitting just off the pace, chasing, making a nice bid, but having to come up just a little bit short. The favored Puxa Sako, a 5-year-old chestnut mare, a daughter of DeHare from Salty Sal by Cox's Ridge, was bred in Kentucky by Homer Noble and Gano Stable. Owned by Richard Rowan, trained by Janine Sahadi, and ridden to victory by Mike Smith. Puxa Sako covers the 6 furlongs of the Desert Stormer in 109 3. We're going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading home to Belmont Park and taking a look at a couple of overseas stakes features as well. Please stay with us.
Why do I own and breed New York breds? I mean, why not? Why go anywhere but New York? New York breds have purses and incentives of almost $38 million a year. Trust me, it's not an easy game. It's all about common sense and finding an edge. As a native New Yorker, I've seen those ads you guys do for the New York bred program. New York breds, they start with an advantage. I mean, come on, what more do you need to know? Get with the program.
Helping the most courageous natural athletes on Earth live long and healthy lives, doing what they're born to do. Run with the wind. The Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation, funded by private contributions.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with stakes racing from New York, beginning with the Grade 1 Acorn, a mile for 3-year-old fillies. Let's head to Belmont and the call of the Acorn.
And they're off. Splendid Blended off to a good beginning, and she's in front immediately. And Smuggler comes away second on the outside. Seek a Star just outside Round Pond fourth and gaining ground. 2 lengths back to Seeking the Any, and 7 lengths back to In the Gold, who's been outsprinted in the first furlong here. Down the backstretch run now, and it's Splendid Blended to go head-to-head with Seek a Star, and they go head-to-head through a quarter in 22 2/5 seconds. It's Splendid Blended, a narrow lead, hounded by Seek a Star on the inside. Smuggler is up and on this hot pace, and Round Pond is very close to them as well, running in fourth. Around the far turn, and it's Splendid Blended now, who shakes loose from Seek a Star, who's dropping back. Smuggler now moves to second, the half in an eye-popping 44 3/5 seconds. Round Pond third, and here comes In the Gold, who's rallying. In the Gold, who was in abeyance and behind those very hard fractions early, is making a big run now as they approach the top of the stretch. Seeking the Any and Seek a Star's drop back to trail the field. Coming to the top of the stretch, Splendid Blended in front, but she's been softened up, and here comes In the Gold on the far outside, and in between horses, Smuggler is battling on, and then it's Round Pond at the top of the stretch. In the Gold is in front. Smuggler is battling her all the way into the final furlong now. Splendid Blended is game, but third on the outside. Round Pond, a late run coming down to the finish, and here comes Round Pond to run by them all, to win the Acorn at the end by a length. A determined Smuggler fought on well in the stretch to be second. In the Gold was third, and Splendid Blended was fourth in a thriller.
Round Pond and Stuart Elliott getting the victory. She won the Fantasy last time out down at Oaklawn Park. She did miss the Kentucky Oaks. She had a little bit of a setback, but returned victorious here by a length and a half under Stu Elliott. Smuggler made a nice move, a little bit of an early move for her after being fairly up close. She's been one of these horses that can run from off the pace or fairly close. She was close to the pace here and settled for second, ahead in front of In the Gold. Her determination to keep her up there in the Gold looked like she was going to go by her. In fact, did get to the lead at the top of the stretch, but Smuggler did rebound nicely, continued on through the stretch drive to finish second In the Gold, ahead behind in third. The winner, Round Pond, is a bay 3-year-old daughter of Awesome Again from Gift of Dance by Trempolino, bred in Kentucky by Trudy McCaffrey and John Toffin. Owned by Fox Hill Farm, trained by John Service, ridden to victory by Stu Elliott. Round Pond covers the mile at Belmont in 1:35 1. We're going to head right back to Belmont, right back to 3-year-old fillies and Sunday's running of the Sands Point. 3-year-old fillies on the turf this time. Let's head back to New York, the running of the Sands Point.
And they're off. From the inside, it's My Typhoon. In between horses waited out. Dynamite Last there on the outside. Patty's Daisy tucks in behind the lead. And Melor Ayenda is away 5th in the field. Farther back, Laura Fina and Miami Princess, who will be the early trailer. They make their way around the first turn, and My Typhoon is out to establish the lead. Moving unopposed in the early going here. Up top, My Typhoon the leader by 2. Sailed through an opening quarter in 24 2/5 seconds. Patty's Daisy together with waited out 2nd and 3rd. Dynamite Lass out of harm's way in the far outside 4th. And Johnny Velasquez takes Melor Ayenda into the inside position down the backstretch run, running 5th, about 4 lengths from the lead. Laura Fina at the back of the pack, and Miami Princess. They continue their run down the backstretch. Up top, by Typhoon in front, prompted there by Patty's Daisy 2nd. Waited out on the outside, and the heavy favorite Melor Ayenda continues in 4th, down on the hedge through a half that was 48 2/5 seconds. Farther back, Dynamite Lass, Laura Fina, and Miami Princess. Into the far turn now. My Typhoon has led throughout. The pace has been fairly easy, but now they're beginning to quicken that cadence. Patty's Daisy is driving now in 2nd. Waited out in a drive 3rd. Melor Ayenda yet to do her best running. She's down on the inside now. She'll have to find a way through, and there's that scene for Melor Ayenda as the field turns for home. Melor Ayenda cut loose. Up and past by Typhoon. Melor Ayenda kicking in, and the leader by a length and a half with 1 furlong to go. My Typhoon, no response for Melor Ayenda. Laura Fina charging hard from 3rd now, but they're coming down to the finish, and the beat goes on for Melor Ayenda, who romps here by 3 on the wire. Laura Fina came on to be 2nd, My Typhoon 3rd.
Heavily favored, Melor Ayenda makes it yet another victory, and a fairly easy one at that, sitting just off the pace, showing good early speed and relaxing nicely for John Velasquez, moving forward generously when asked to win by 2 3/4 from Laura Fina. My Typhoon, who had early in her career really looked like a possible very, very good one, a sister to European champion Galileo, returning here to New York and having to settle for the 3rd spot after being involved every step of the way. The winner, Melor Ayenda, is a bay 3-year-old filly, a daughter of Pulpit from Potriner by Potriazzo, bred in Kentucky by JFB Stables and Reynolds Bell Jr., owned by the TNT stud and trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Melor Ayenda covers the mile on the turf course at Belmont. I'm sorry, the mile and an 1/8 in 1:47 2. We've got a couple of overseas features to bring to you now. We're going to begin by heading back to Saturday and the running of the Vodafone Epsom Derby at Epsom. $2.2+ million in translated funds for 3-year-olds going 1.5 miles. Let's head to Epsom in the running of the Derby.
For the Vodafone Derby, they're off. They went without number 3 first row, which leaves field of 13 headed by Hatan, and through the first furlong or so, Motivator adopts a handy position as the riders sort themselves out into a racing formation. Oratorio and Gypsy King are also well forward, and Grand Central. Most of the Aidan O'Brien phalanx pretty well placed as they race through the first furlong. Climbing uphill, it's Hatan who shows the way in the Derby by half a length from Motivator. Gypsy King shares 3rd place, racing on the inside of the pink jacket, blue cap of Grand Central. And now Almighty scoots round the entire field. Having been last early, he raises the stakes and ensures, just as they were beginning to get a breather up front, that the pace increases. Walk in the Park and are coming together with the Geezer back in the field, and the Geezer's been relegated to the back and has dropped the bridle for a few strides. So early on, Almighty has come through to dispute the running with Hatan as they continue to climb uphill towards the highest point of the course. Motivator poised on the outside with Gypsy King. Dubawi in 5th against the fence, racing a little keenly on the inside of Grand Central, and Oratorio, the pink colours, out wide. Then towards the inside comes King's Key. Towards the outer at this stage is Unfurled with Kong. Then towards the inside, King's Key is now tracked by Walk in the Park. Fracas is quite well back, and after that early shuffle, the Geezer still nudged along at the rear of the field. So they begin the descent down towards Tattenham Corner, and Almighty being ridden along to hold off Hatan. These two continue to dispute the Crowder moves off the fence, looks over his right shoulder and now begins to track Motivator, who improves going strongly. Dubawi yet to play his cards. Unfurled's had a tough trip on the outside of Oratorio. Then comes King's Key. Well back walk in the park as Hatan leads the Derby field on the turn for home. It's Hatan with Motivator poised there going strongly. In third place is Gypsy King. Dubawi begins to edge closer. Frankie Dettori nursing him home. Then back in fifth place, Unfurled, not too much from the back. Hatan leads, Motivator poised. Dubawi now being ridden along. Gypsy King towards the outside. Motivator goes to the front in the Derby, takes it from Hatan. In third place, Dubawi is in third. Then comes Gypsy King. Motivator stretches. The response is immediate, and he stretches 5 lengths clear from Dubawi in second. Walk in the Park is back in third, but Motivator striding clear for Johnny Murtagh and Michael Bell, and the 230-strong Royal Ascot Racing Club have owned the Derby winner. Motivator by 3 in second. Walk in the Park. Dubawi third. Fracas 4. Gypsy King Unfurled. Hatan the Geezer and Grand Central.
Very impressive performance by Motivator. When Johnny Murtagh asked him after sitting just off the early pace, this horse kicked clear beautifully in a romping effort, just opening up his stride. No one was able to come near him. Walk in the Park gave futile chase, and Dubawi, who may be limited by distance, perhaps a little bit shorter than 1.5 miles, is best for him. I would say he could probably make the 1.25 miles effectively, although probably not against Motivator, who was an absolute monster throughout the running of the stretch here. The winner, Motivator, is a 3-year-old son of European champion Montjeu out of Out West by Gone West. He was bred in Great Britain by Deerfield Farm and is owned by Royal Ascot Racing Club. Trained by MLW Bell and ridden to victory by Johnny Murtagh. Motivator completes the 1.5 miles of the Derby at Epsom in 2 minutes 35 and 3. We're going to head overseas for one more stakes feature. We're going to head to Tokyo Racecourse in the Asian Mile Challenge on Sunday, our time. This is a Group 1, approximately $900,000 in purse money. Let's head overseas once more to Tokyo in the running of the Asian Mile Challenge.
The second leg of the Asia Mile Challenge, and away they go. Perfect start. Hat-trick missed it slightly, as did Sweet Tosho. As we expected, Silent Witness pounced straight from the barrier. Up on the inside is Daiwa Major. Forcing through in the middle is Lohengrin. On its inside is Mataraze Asidum Otre Mazda. On a Silent Witness now pulling up the outside into second place. On its outside, Utopia. Back on its inside, further there to Dance in the Mood. Then a gap to Daiwa Major. On its outside, Balance of Game. Then Asakusa Denen. Back on the fence, running inside it. Further on the outside is Admire Max. Then a gap to Albareo. Further back to Company. Then Sweet Tosho. Further back to Bowman's Crossing. Bullish Luck is fourth last. On the inside is Hat Trick. Second last is Sidewinder, and last of all is Telegnosis. As they go past the, approach the 800-metre mark, leading the way at the moment is Lohengrin. Lohengrin from Silent Witness, running third. Back on the fence is Orewa Mataruze. On the outside, Utopia. Then comes Dance in the Mood. Balance of Game is there with Daiwa Major. Running on now is Admire Max. Asakusa Dead End. Further back to Bullish Luck. Bowman's Crossing, and still last of all, Bullish Luck is pulled out now. Balance of Game goes to the lead at the 400-metre mark. Silent Witness taken on by Balance of Game, and Utopia kicking on the fence. Dance in the Mood. Balance of Game, and wider out now comes Sweet Tosho and Telegnosis. It's Balance of Game. Silent Witness kicking back on the inside with 200 metres to go. Out wide now is Sweet Tosho. Asakusa Den in the middle. Silent Witness is kicking. Asakusa Denen gets to it. Asakusa Denen. Silent Witness. Asakusa Denen. Asakusa Denen from Sweet Tosho and Silent Witness. Admire Max not that far away with Bullish Luck. Then Sidewinder back on the fence. A further gap to Daiwa Major. Then pulling up.
Atsuka Denon finishing in the top spot here, and a huge victory from well off the pace. A tremendous move by Atsuka Denon to get the victory over Sweet Tosho and Silent Witness, who just held on for the third spot. It might be noted that Silent Witness was carrying the same weight, 128 pounds, as the winner, but not quite able to hold on. Perhaps Silent Witness limited a little bit in his ability to get the distance. He's now suffered 2 career defeats after having romped through his first 17, but certainly no disgrace at all, as he has been stretched in his last 2 to distances perhaps a little bit longer than his very best. Otsaka Denon picks up the victory under jockey Shinji Fujita, carrying 128 pounds, going a mile on the turf at Tokyo in 1:32 and 3. That's going to wrap up a busy international edition of Horses and Choruses. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you'll be able to join us next week, as we know we'll have a busy one with the Belmont Stakes edition of Horses and Choruses. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.
Third backed up at the rail is Art Daly, just off the speed, and fourth is Spud Cam. Two on the way, fifth Peloton's Vapor Trail. These make the judges at Ripley Inquiry Sign. Hold all tickets. 55 and 2 is the half, 28-4, second quarter speed. Roll into the right side. Here comes Art Daly. That's McIntyre Wheels. The playing horse first over as they travel towards the pound turn. Art Daly going for it out here as he travels up on the right side. He grew up before the third to go into the turn and roll. And Art Daly takes over. Lost Bliss back in second. First up in third now, Vapor Trail. Second at the inside, Lost Bliss. A late rush will get Spud Cam third, and it's going to be tight for fourth. On the inside, in that photo will be Stonebridge Leader, joined late by Garrick Sealster. A mile 152 at the Inquiry Sign lit.